Stock and Facebook Live at high noon. Hi, Queenie.
Hi, Doc.
Happy 4th of July celebration. Almost over day. I don't know.
Well,
You know,
actually, this is the federal holiday. They are literally celebrating as far as keeping everything closed on July 5th this year, since yesterday was obviously a Sunday. So that worked out great. Very interesting for me. Several of my current new friends are not in this country. And so, of course, I'm all excited and they're going, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. And my brain is going, how could you forget? I'm like, because they don't have it in their country, honey. So
yes,
yeah, it's quite a celebration to be sure. And I know you
totally.
had tons of fun.
Oh, we had a fantastic weekend. Close to where we live, we have the New Century Airport here in Kansas City, and we had the air show, which we have never had. We've had air shows, but we've never had the Blue Angels or the Thunderbirds or the Golden Eagles. Is that what they're called? The guys that jump out of the airplanes. Those are the
Nice.
only ones that we actually missed because we did not. We live so close. We were standing out in our cul-de-sac watching most of the show, but this was yesterday. These are the Thunderbirds flying away from us. They're kind of in formation. It was kind of hard to, put a background on it, but you kind of get the gist. But my favorite picture was we actually got pretty close the other day when the Blue Angels were flying around, and they were literally flying over us. And
Wow.
I was fortunate enough to get the underside of that magnificent machine that they were flying. So I
I
I,
can
I love
see,
it.
I
I
can see
love
why that's your favorite. That is super cool. And quite frankly, I was watching national news and we scored, so that was pretty fun too because they had several people from their news stations in Kansas City for this very reason, and
very
quite the celebrity hotspot.
very cool. Well, and we went. I mean, we're from the big city, so we're from Chicago. So that's a pretty big city compared to Kansas City, and we're used to when you have these big functions. A lot can go wrong. There can be trouble, et cetera, et cetera. And we were just. It was not a nothing, nothing. Everybody was courteous. Everybody was friendly. I struck up conversations with people, just in standing there, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. So, hats off to Kansas City too. I mean, we did that at, when the Royals won the
Oh
World
yeah,
Series, Super Bowl, not so much so, but I mean, it's a great place to live. We've
yeah.
got a great metro.
It seriously is. And that sounds like just tons of fun already. And to be able to see everybody's rendition, to get the
Yes.
pictures that people took from so many different places in the city, that was awesome because even though it was at New Century, obviously they had to fly around to get that handled. And some people got to have quite amazing views from their own deck patio area too.
Oh gosh, yeah. And what was fun to watch too was the excitement in people. It was like we all turned into little kids. That the first airplane flies by and everybody's like, and then they fly away. And then you try and guess where they're going to show up because they have to turn around so far away.
Yes.
And then they're going what 4 or 5, 600 miles an hour. Then they're on top of you. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. It was totally a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And so on my group, on the Doc and Queenie group page, I posted my rendition of the firecracker, and Grace posted,
Yes,
because
you
I said,
did.
what's your favorite thing about 4th of July? And Grace Strong said, fireworks, of course, and then homemade ice cream.
I know.
Holly Vaughn chimed in with the ice cream thing, and homemade ice cream sounds amazing to me because I would prefer obviously the authentic to
Yep.
you buy. And but I never ever have actually made homemade ice cream before. I don't even know what that looks like. I mean, as far as doing it myself. And I know at some point there was a churning thing and funky ice and all of those things, but I've never made it myself. And it sounds like super fun because I would do either coffee type ice cream and pecans or walnuts or something like that, or strawberry peach, something like that. So it would just be an interesting thing to see. So I guess when Doc and Queenie takes it on the road, we're going to make ice cream
We'll
somewhere.
have to visit ice cream shops.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. And who has the most authentic flavor? And as boring as it sounds, one of my favorite ice creams to pick is actually vanilla bean. And that vanilla bean is so, now the vanilla, okay, blase, whatever, but the vanilla bean is phenomenal. And I had cinnamon
Yes.
ice cream one time, I think actually at Hallbrook here in Kansas City, cinnamon ice cream on their apple pie something.
Oh,
It was,
I bet you that was good.
oh,
Either that
but
or vanilla bean. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I can't remember the reason because it was some type of delicacy apple pie something, and then they put cinnamon ice cream on top. And of course, I could only take so much of that, but I tasted it, and it was the flavor was, it was rich, and you could just kind of tell it was authentic. And so
There is nothing like homemade ice cream. We don't make it just because of the sugar, and then we've got dairy issues on top of all the other issues here. But I did try probably 10 or 15 years ago. I didn't want to buy because at that point they were just transitioning into, you pour it into your machine, you push a button,
yeah,
ice cream, which is fantastic. But I decided, we were toying with camping, so I got this ball, and you put everything in the middle of it, and then you put ice around it, and you roll it around. Well, I don't know how long it took us. It took us hours to get little, like a little quart size of vanilla. And I'm like, no,
yeah.
it's okay.
At some point, I have to do the cost-effective thing, and time is money for me. So yeah,
I guess if you're camping and sitting in your chair and you're rolling it around while you're talking, I guess that's good. But we were at home rolling it. Actually, we were rolling it at the dog. Throwing it around.
yeah.
So,
At some point, like I say, time is money for me, and it's that doesn't work. So
but
yeah,
but in typical Queenie, I am the opposite of you. I don't. I mean, I love vanilla. I love any kind of ice cream. The more junk in it, the better.
yep.
Uh,
Except
except for what are you? Well, I was going to say my ultimate what? Except for what?
spumoni.
Yes, I do not like spumoni.
Yeah, I know you don't like spumoni, and that's got stuff in it.
Well, yeah, and that's not, yeah, that's the only thing I don't like. But I was going to say my favorite, even with all we call it junk ice cream. Just throw your junk in there. My favorite is the mint chocolate chip. I just love that cool, refreshing mint, and I even like, peppermint, whatever. I'm a chocolate mint person, so.
Not happening for me, but congratulations on your choices.
I know, I can see there's no clue there. You're like, okay.
No, I've never understood that combo actually, so that's not a good fit for me, but I'm sure some people love it. Now, I did try a peppermint mocha Starbucks one time, and you heard me say one time, and that is so sweet, it could kill you. And so I, of course, do the decaf, skinny, no fat, blah, 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 blah. Well, by the time I messed it up, it couldn't possibly taste like it originally does or should.
Well, and then if you did taste it as it originally should, you'd be like,
yeah, it is intensely rich, as I recall. So
yes,
there's a lot of flavors out there that are just actually too sweet, and sweet is not my thing. So that is rough.
well, it's funny, the whole sweet thing. The more you quote unquote clean up your diet and that kind of thing, I guess I've taken this as a teaching opportunity, but your taste changes.
Oh my gosh.
And I used to have a sweet tooth, and because of everything that I do, I don't eat as many sweets as I used to. And when I do try something that I in my mind think like, oh, this is going to taste great, and then you're like, oh, it doesn't taste good at all. It's just overly, yeah. So it's always interesting, but you've never had a sweet tooth, correct?
I wouldn't say never, but I would go for salt every time if there was a choice. So yeah, but I wouldn't say never. New York style cheesecake would be my go-to dessert, and that actually isn't sweet. It's rich like cray cray, but it's actually not sweet.
Yeah, it's not an overly sweet.
Unless
Well, what they put on it. Yeah,
Right, that's what I was gonna
whatever's
say. If
put
you
on it.
trash it with stuff, and even if you do trash it, my choice to trash it with is raspberries. Again, not severely sweet that way. So um, anyway, that's just not my thing. And I know some people have a sweet tooth, and it's not like I don't like chocolate, but I'm a 93% cacao person, and so that would be that's my probably go-to thing. But it's just amazing to me as far as the sweet tooth. I understand the topic in the moment, and like you say, maybe it's when you clean up your diet or the aging process. Hello, hormonally, you probably don't have crave as we once did, maybe, and that probably changes as well.
Well, actually, because a lot of us are deficient in different vitamins and minerals, that's where the cravings come from, actually,
Oh,
which
really?
is kind of a, that's kind of a hard one to think around, but
It's
yeah,
almost not fair. You've got a
yeah,
deficiency in something, so you crave something worse.
yeah, yeah. But that's also dependent on diet, I mean, if you're a, Hershey bar junkie, no offense, I'm just using that. Maybe I won't use the brand. If you're a
Yeah.
chocolate bar junkie, um, but they have been finding more and more that deficiencies constitute cravings for different things. So,
Yeah.
especially the chocolate and the sweets and all of that. So,
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing to me. Since we're on the topic of diet,
uh-oh.
I don't know. Do you know what today is also besides July 5th? And
Shoot, I forgot to look at National
yeah,
Whatever Day. What
so
is it? I
you
dropped the
guess,
ball.
actually get ready. Don't cheat, please.
Okay, I won't cheat.
As I looked it up, okay, today is National Workaholics Day. And several people, I was already on a call actually with a lady in California. She's a coach and she's spectacular. And she said, as an entrepreneur, I did not take the day off. So she still did her gig today and she's fantastic. And so it's Workaholics Day. It is also da 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 da.
Bikini Body Day.
It is National Bikini Day. And so in honor of that, I've got my Miami Beach shirt on in honor of my Florida friends. And also, I found this and it said, every body is a bikini body. Well, instantly, some people are going, oh, But what I have found in the coaching classes and different things I'm in, I have experienced that people are starting to feel life is too short to worry with, downplay, stress over all of the things that we once did. If you're not perfectly tan and perfectly this and perfectly everything else, you can't this and you can't that and you can't something. I don't know if COVID taught the fact that life's too short, uncertain, get out there and play and do anyway, or if people are going, I can do whatever I want because I earned it after that year and 8 months, but who's counting? But it's back to that same drill. And so when I saw that today was National Bikini Day, I thought you would love that.
Well, yes, I'm kind of as far as bikinis, like anybody cares, but you'll never catch me in one ever. Did I say never?
Yeah, you
Ever?
did. Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to have to go through the skin that has never been in the sun, that whole deal.
Oh, that could turn out to be quite a problem. But you can see
Oh,
the people, if you've ever been to Miami Beach, um, the people that go to Miami Beach actually do not care if anyone is looking. And so they are just free spirited, from what I have experienced, just free spirited people that are there to enjoy the beach and whatever. So,
well,
it's
and I think it's great.
attitude.
Life is too short.
Yeah, it's
Live
a
it to
cool
its
attitude.
fullest. And if that's the way you express it,
Yeah, it's just definitely a cool attitude. But when I saw
yeah.
that today, I thought the Doc and Queenie community needs to celebrate National Bikini Day.
Okay.
So here we are. And if you are celebrating National Workaholics Day, how are you celebrating? Obviously, that means you're probably working. Maybe you're cleaning your house. Maybe you're cleaning your house out. I just had a friend move from one house to building another, and she said that she just purged everything like cray cray and got rid of tons and tons of stuff. So the good news is I'm heading to Savers tomorrow to see if I can go buy her stuff.
Well, you might find our stuff there too, because
Yeah,
we just
see.
did carpeting and painting and
Oh,
cleaning
that's
everything up.
right. Last week we had big construction at the Christina
Oh my
Estate.
2 weeks straight of painting. I still am not finished, but it's just touch up work, most of it. But oh my gosh, yeah. Well, moving. I always say to my husband, one more time, because we have probably 3 times more stuff than we did when we moved into the house that we're in now.
Oh, wow.
So, but yeah, but no, you'll never find me with a bikini on Miami Beach.
Okay. What beach will we find you in?
I don't know. I like the Gulf Coast,
Okay.
and I love the Keys.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe my own little island.
Ah, now there you go. I know you're a Caribbean fan, so maybe that's where you'll be someday on your own little island.
My own little island with my own little fishing pole. Fishing,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. And that barracuda will still be following you around, I have a feeling. Yeah, I think about that a lot when you
Oh my gosh.
was
Yeah.
just there. And it would have been such a cool thing to be able to have captured a picture of that. But I'm sure that's not where your brain was at that moment.
I know that was the last thing on my mind. The first thing on my mind was to get out of there.
Yeah.
Because he was, of course, he's getting bigger every time I tell the story, but he was probably almost as long as I am tall, which is not really that tall.
Well, it's
It,
pretty tall for a fish.
it was probably 3 feet long, if not longer. Yeah, just the beady little eye and the little fangs that were hanging out of his mouth. I was just like, I am just gonna, the big purple thing is just gonna back off here.
Yeah. Yeah. Very slowly, and I'm getting out of here. So thank you for sharing. I think about this a lot when we were talking about the National Day of, and when you were in Florida the last time to get the barracuda shot and all of those things. Time is literally flying by. And I go through the calendar because numbers are certainly my thing. And I was looking at the calendar and it's almost July 26th. And Doc and Queenie actually met the very first time on July 26th at No Excuses at Fazoli's networking, No Excuses networking group out in Olathe, Kansas. And literally you had a friend that was attending the No Excuses group and she brought you as a guest. And you've now made so many phenomenal friends the No Excuses tribe. And it's just such a cool thing to see. Then the next date that is on my mind is August 3rd, 2020. And that's actually when we launched Doc and Queenie as far as the Faithful Friends on Purpose Girl Chat with a Faith Twist. And it's just amazing to me, first of all, yes, how fast time goes. But second of all, you never know, honestly, which, I guess you would say event, but which circumstance is going to afford you the next opportunity for certainly friendship, but then look at growth and think about that. Because one of the things I ask always is, if not for the pandemic. And so think about that. The friends that we've made now, Jody Giroux comes to mind because I never would have gotten on CWEN, Christian Women Entrepreneur Network with Rebecca Garcia. And we wouldn't have met Jody. And then you sent her Povitica, as she calls it. And so you sent her Povitica, and she had sent us chocolate cheese with several other goodies. And you think about those this just doesn't happen. We wouldn't have met Joni McLeod in Tennessee if we hadn't done Doc and Queenie Bingo. And she found us accidentally. And it's just one of those things, who invites who. And you think about the different networking opportunities that we've had virtually, but look at the people here in this tribe that they were here the first day that you walked in. And it's an amazing opportunity for growth, change, everything. And then literally a year later, we launched Doc and Queenie Girl Chat with a Faith Twist. And it was just like, the rest is meant to be, from Bible trivia to our bingo parties, to our guest lives, and certainly to Facebook Live every Monday at high noon. It's incredible to see how the community has grown.
Oh, well, and each one of those people in that picture, just watching them grow and evolve in their businesses, and some have kind of shifted a little bit with their business. And
yes,
yeah,
That's so true also. And I'm looking at the picture actually, and yep, Judy Logger. I'm doing an e-summit this next weekend, as a matter of fact, with Sharon
Yes.
Berger and Terry Ann Porter, and it's Purposeful Joy. And Judy Logger is actually one of the speakers with us. And so I think about that also. I met Judy several years ago, and she had a different business back then. And she used to introduce herself, I'm Judy Logger, like the beer. And so that always stuck in my head, because some people would say Lager or different things like that. But as soon as she said Judy Logger, like the beer, everything worked out perfectly. And then it helped you remember, which is cool.
Yes.
But
Yes.
she's one of the speakers in the e-summit this weekend. And so anyway, check with me, private message, if you'd like to know, or contact Sherry or Terry Ann, actually, if you have their information. But it's just a cool thing to see. Tracy has Self-Care Saturday. Michelle does Ladies of Justice. Everybody has a purpose and a plan. Carrie O'Connor does all her Facebook Lives. It's just a very fun thing to see how people have grown just from 2 years ago when this picture was taken. And that's why I have on there, Doc and Queenie met on. So I would remember that actually. But those are the kind of things when you think about the date and the timing, and to think that we've been doing the Doc and Queenie thing almost a year, and look at the people we've met even in that community, that environment. And I know you've got a super fun person that you're working on for our next guest live too.
Yes, I do. And actually, not many people know her, but I've known her for over a year now, and she's a small business owner.
And
But,
I can't wait when she gets on here for you to say how you first met them.
yes, yes, because there is a connection to the No Excuses
Yes, there is.
networking. Yeah.
Yes. And
Yeah.
that's why I say, all of the things that happen are so incredibly purposeful, which is why Sherry and Terry Ann's e-summit comes to mind. Purposeful joy. You have to actually reach out and try it. Try something new. My segment is going to be called Networking and Your Online Presence, because look at what we have. People have to know you by your online presence. And if your online presence is not where you want it to be, there are a gazillion trillion ways to change it and basically up your game. Look what you've done, Doc, with Kitchen Garden Expert. Look what you've done with your YouTube channel. And literally you're out pulling garlic scapes, and the next thing you know, you've got it on YouTube, and now you're doing the 31 days of Kangen water, and all of those things intertwine into your YouTube channel. I'm really serious about this. And your garden boxes behind us, and the smaller ones are called planter boxes. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. I've got planter boxes that I actually used the cedar scraps from building the big ones, because I try
Oh,
not
you
to waste
seriously
any.
can do. I never actually thought that was scraps, because those look like, intentional
Yeah,
cut.
scraps are just a little bit bigger than you might think, because on my learning curve, sometimes I don't measure correctly. And then I wind up with a big piece of wood that I'm like, what do I do with this? Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
no, like you're saying, it's like we talk about practically every week. It's networking. Networking is building relationships, and then it's just incredible how interconnected everybody is. And you just never know. And by knowing somebody, who they are, what they do, all of those things, then you can help them out when something pops up or somebody's looking for a service. Yeah.
And I think back to the first time that we had Delinda Lane on as a guest live here for Doc and Queenie, actually, and that was fun. And then you've spoken on Delinda's call several times on
Yes.
the Tuesday morning show, and I get to do a LinkedIn posting party for her in a couple weeks. I think that one's July 20th. It's a Tuesday. I'm not totally sure which, but you just think about, once again, the full circle thing. Delinda's group is Fearless Female Global Community of Christian Women. You think about, once again, the circle evolves, and the bigger, 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 bigger. And I see things like this, and it's just incredible to me how, well, let's think about Karen Reyes, as a matter of fact, okay? She created our very first Doc and Queenie logo, which is super cool. And I still love it. And I just changed the pictures on it a couple times. But Karen created that, and she doesn't live too far away from either of us. And she took amazing pictures last night, a video actually, from her deck, because she's super close to Corporate Woods in Kansas City. She's super close to Corporate Woods, and she's got bird's eye view. It's almost like God cut the trees out perfectly so she could have the entire view,
Cool.
a spectacular vision, if you will, Corporate Woods fireworks. And it was gorgeous. And but all of that, again, full circle. I remember when I met her the first time, and we met in a networking group, and then we were in several other groups together. And now she made our first logo. I mean, my gosh, the first correct one. I attempted the first one. No, but Karen actually did this, and it was just like, OMG, this is the coolest thing. Unprompted, by the way, which kind of made it even more fun, because I guess I never even thought of that. And Lisa Fredrickson made the one behind you. And it's just like, OMG, this is cool.
Yes. Oh, yeah. There's so many talented people with so many so many gifts outside of what they're doing for their business. I mean, it's just really neat.
Yeah. I was on a call, I can't remember, a couple of weeks ago, I think one of with Delinda actually, and Karen Reyes was on there talking about her magnitude jewelry. And it basically, I don't know how you say these words correctly, but wards off or fights off EMFs, the
repels
harmful effects of all our cyber everything. And Delinda needed that, and never kind of had put two and two together. And so once again, she and Karen have known each other for a while, but Delinda maybe didn't think about the magnitude jewelry. And the reason I say tude like that is because they call the little pieces, the little fantastic stones and gems, tudes, like attitude, magnitude, like that. And it really is a cool thing. I own several of her pieces now, and never do I wear those out somewhere that somebody doesn't say, what is that? And they get to see, smell, feel, whatever it is. And it's magnificent. It's seriously.
And they don't smell. So that's good.
Yeah. Well, actually, the one I have does.
Oh, that's right. You have the one with the essential oil.
Yes, I do. And I have one of the tudes is a diffuser, and I love that. Actually,
right.
I can't say the most, but the efficacy part I don't think is actually measurable. But the lavender is what I always put in this essential oil diffuser tude, and it's just such a cool. It's a cool line. It's a cool concept. And I would never, that again, I've never heard another person say, I have magnitude jewelry. So if it hadn't been for Karen and having met her 100 years ago, I never would have known about her pieces, and Delinda needed it, and bam. And so it really, the full circle thing just rose my boat every single time it happens.
And it's great jewelry. Just to give it a plug, I'm actually shopping, trying to decide. I've got a couple of different ones that I'm trying to decide which one I want, because they're all really, really good. So, but yeah, and like you say, Delinda, those two people together, through Delinda, I've met a whole bunch of people. We're in a Bible study together.
Yep.
They're out of Vegas. I mean, it's just a lot of fun to meet.
Yeah, it seriously is. It has been. Well, that's what I say when I was going over the dates. And like I say, July 4th to me always means like, bam, summer's over, bam. It just seems like school's starting and everybody's starting to freak out back to school and get your stuff ready. And now everybody's going back to school. And so it's amazing time. But then I thought, holy moly, hang on a second. This is going to take us to July 26th, 2 years of having met. And then August 3rd, 1 year after having launched Doc and Queenie Facebook Live. So it really has been a phenomenal ride.
I think they do an air show for us.
You know what? I never thought of that. I think we probably ought to call the news media and let them know.
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't think they understand how important this is, actually.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure Channel 9 will go, thanks for calling. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Click the crazy Doc and Queenie. Yeah.
Thanks for calling. Bye-bye. Yeah. Now, I will say one thing. People who don't even know necessarily us, people have said things when I'm out in the world. They say, I am so sorry. I know you must have.
I don't know your name.
Yes. Yeah. All they know me as is Queenie. I know you must have a name. I am so sorry. I don't know it. I just know you as Queenie. That's hysterical to me.
I actually had that happen for you last night. We had some friends over and I was
Uh-huh.
talking about you. I said Kathy, and the lady looked at me like, Kathy? I said Queenie. Oh, Queenie.
That is so funny. Oh my gosh. And
So
you just don't even think of that anymore. Notorious is what I would think, but the notoriety piece is hysterical because I know you have a name, honey, but all I know you is as Queenie. And it's like, oh my gosh. And I've called you Doc since the day I met you, just because
yes, you did.
naturopathy piece and basically the doctor of water. I had been with several years and you said, oh, that's because of this. And I went, huh, okay. And so you knew the backstory, biologic, physiologic piece, and I knew the technology water part piece, and the mesh of that has been phenomenal. So you explain why it works and or how it works, and I explain what it does when you push a button, because I can do that part. You can take over the rest of it.
You do very well with that, Queenie.
Yeah.
And speaking of things, what else is new in your world, in the world of business? How's the HNP?
Oh my gosh. I'm actually hosting 4 groups now, and I love that. And
Wow,
3 of the 4 of our groups hit the leaderboard for referral contest.
that's awesome.
Yeah, that was a blast. And so I was super excited to be able to share that with people because it's free. That's the part that nobody understands. It's free, and it really is free forever. And that is a statement by the Chief Happiness Officer, Edward.
And what I love about it, my experience is just, it's very organized. You get
Yes.
to talk about your business for just a few minutes, but it's, everybody is truly happy. There's no, as we call it, swooping, where
No.
you're trying to shove your business down people's throats. And yeah, it's very well organized and very impressive. They're very thorough in how they've thought this out. And it's
That's what I
growing by
like.
leaps and bounds, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. That's what I liked about it right off the bat, is the efficiency piece. You get to walk away with 10 new contacts every single time you attend an event. And there's almost 70 events now weekly, and they're all free. And so I like the efficiency piece of that. And I don't even know how to say this. Tomorrow, July 6th, is what they are calling a big reveal. And it's at 1:00 Central Time. And literally, this is something no networking group has ever done before. And they're announcing it tomorrow. So I literally, it blows my mind. For networking full time for 13 years, I absolutely cannot imagine one more thing someone hasn't done or come up with yet. And they said no other networking organization has ever done this before. So whatever it is,
It's going to be interesting.
yeah. And they've got super prizes, $1,800 worth of SEO marketing website package, $1,000 Dell computer. Just the prizes are phenomenal. And then if you guess how many people register for this event, you also live, they're going to pick live who gets closest to the number without going over. And you also win a prize, and so does the person who invited you to HM Happy Neighborhood Project the first.
Wow.
And so they've just thought of everything. It's so much fun. And to be able to keep this many people this excited, 20,000 monthly registrations. I mean,
That's unbelievable.
yeah,
You know,
it definitely is.
and kind of a, a perfect example of if the piece of COVID didn't happen, makes you wonder
Oh
if
my,
it
I would never have found
taken
it.
off. You know,
I would never have found HNP if it hadn't been for pandemic shutdown, because I was chambering my life all day long and driving from Parkville to Gladstone to Blue Springs and everything in between. And I would never have made it to an online anything because I wouldn't have had time left from driving around all these places to
right.
make it to an online meeting ever.
You lived in your car just like I did.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, seriously.
Yeah.
My insurance guy even called the other day and he goes, how you doing with mileage? And I said, great. I get about 500 days to the gallon kind of.
The gal.
And yeah, and so he is, but I told you I took pictures of the odometer, and I have gone.
What wasn't it, like 3,000 or 4,000?
It was 4,000 miles in 13 months.
So that's basically 300 miles a month, 307 to be exact.
And yeah, because when my odometer hits a milestone, I'm able to take a picture or someone's with me so they can actually snap it. But the first time I did it, I thought, and then literally I'm getting about 500 days to the gallon. And I just thought, what is the deal? But that was it, 4,000 miles in 13 months.
That's phenomenal. That really is phenomenal.
Yeah, but if I did my cyber miles,
Yes, and you do, when we talk occasionally, I'll be like, so where have you been?
yeah,
Oh, I was over in Australia and then I went to Hawaii and
yeah. And I've been to Nigeria several times, so it's been fun. And I get
yeah.
to go to the UK and Germany, and yeah, so it's just a blast. And honestly, the people that you get to meet, you can't make it without them every week now. You just can't make it without your friends online, and it's just very super fun to catch up with everyone.
And that's your DNA, Queenie. Of course, like you said, you've been networking for 13 years. That's your DNA, the networking piece. So it's
Yeah, it sure is.
it's a perfect fit.
Yes,
And
it
even if
definitely is.
it's not a perfect fit for people, you know, I love to network. I have not had lots of opportunity to get
Oh, I don't even know how you know what your name is today, actually.
but the way I look at it, and I wanted to mention this for anybody that might be thinking about it, but just it's good practice. That 2 minute kind of think on your feet. What do you do? You know, and how many of us have run into people out in the world where they ask what you do and you fumble over it, or you say something, then you're like, why did I say it that way? Or, oh, I forgot to tell them this, you know? So at the very least, it's, you get to meet people and you get a good little practice 2 minute.
That is actually a great way to look at it. If you go to 3 or 4 events a day, and I don't obviously mean every day because nobody could probably handle that schedule, but if you go to even 3 or 4 events a week and you get 2 breakout rooms in every 55-minute segment, then you've had 2 chances right there to say whatever you are trying to verbalize. And then you go, oh my gosh, maybe not so good. I even take notes. I always have pen and paper with me, actually. And so I take notes. Maybe I should try this next time. So whether it's that same day or tomorrow, I have an opportunity to tweak, change, improve the pitch, if you will. And for me, it's just a carrot to dangle. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll subscribe right back and add you to my preferred list. And so changing that conversation has been different. The Kathy chat piece has been different as far as getting people that want to be on it. I had a lady on from Singapore the other day, and that was, how does that happen? I mean, how does that happen that you get to interview someone from Singapore? And it's just, it seriously is such a blast. And we're making our world smaller, one Doc and Queenie show at a time. What do you think, Doc?
That sounds good. That sounds like a good tag there. With our faithful friends on purpose.
That's correct. Yes, that's correct. Well, as you know, we are down to the end of the wire, even on July 5th, National Workaholics Day. Maybe we should stay on for 2 hours today since it's National Workaholics Day.
You know, I was taking the day off other than this, and this is not really work. This is actually fun.
Okay, well, that's good. Yeah. So I guess it's time for you to take us home, Doc.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today for Doc and Queenie Facebook Live at please subscribe or have somebody subscribe to Kathy Weaver KC YouTube channel. If you would like, you can find her on all social media of the same name, Kathy Weaver KC, or I'm Kitchen Garden Expert, all social media. And we're both on Instagram, YouTube.
Oh, well, just hang on a second. Instagram for me is cute little posts occasionally. Instagram for you is startup.
Yeah. If you want to see my 15-second little reels, which are, some of them are funny. I'm still scratching my head. I have over 10,000 people that follow me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I have 2 or 3 say, yay, honey, that looks good.
Yeah, that was so nice. Well, I need to come over and film your lettuce.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so check us out. Tell all your friends. We'd love to have more faithful friends on purpose. They just go to our Doc and Queenie Facebook Live page on Facebook. So until next week, have a great week. We are doing Bible study or Bible trivia on Thursday nights at 7. If you can't make that, we'd love to see you back here next Monday at.
Perfect. Hi, Nick.
I love just doing that, just to hear you say that, because I cannot hit that voice. So take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your holiday. Bye,
Happy
Queenie.
Bikini Day.
Yeah, forgot about it. Yeah, bye.
Bye now.